Hey guys, this is Tigress coming back to you with another Minecraft New Adventures episode. Also, guys, if you ever do wonder what the delay is, it's basically me making sure before I do start speaking that stream is completely functioning. So I wait, I pull up my phone, wait till I actually hear the me actually speaking, and then it's like go from there. Well, I'm in danger. Also, yes, guys, the helmet did broke, and most of the rest of this is about to break too. I think I did see on Tuesday's Overwatch. I did take down. I did take down the walls. Like I smelted most of it into stone. There's literally like a couple stacks left right over there smelting. Now time to jump in the pool and hope I survive. God love having it. God love having slyways around my house. See, I'm used to saying base because it's like let me sleep. This guy's 100% gonna shoot me. But yeah, guys, if anyone did see the stream on Tuesday, I apologize now. That last com game, it essentially took me from being nice, happy, and chill how the day was going to, oh my god, I want to burn everything. Oh, they do. Ow. At some point, I probably will plant mushrooms like here, and I will need to remove the light, but I probably will just cover it. But, like, it was an open area, and I didn't want to just put, like, basically, I didn't want, like, a slab of wood. So I've just left it as grass. What I think I might do is just go and grab some pumpkins. Not pumpkins. Basically, mine up some melons. I'll keep a stack of me, and I'll just chuck the rest into the thing, because I'm almost out of carrots. Getting that add-on, like, where everything it basically adds an effect to everything, it makes things look so much more nicer. Plus, I now know from the fact of, like, if anything drops, I now know the fact that something, I might come mine the rest of this up at the end of the episode. Actually. While I'm here, I'm putting the carrots away that I had, because I do want to eat them. But while I'm here, I may as well get the rest. As long as this axe can survive, I don't mind making another. And basically, guys, the design that I'm gonna go for to making the dragon pen is a sort of a not normal one. And it's going to be a sort of a weird design, but it is basically going to allow me in the future to essentially add on via essentially the mountain. And if I want to make, say, like a secret tunnel, I can. Like, I've got a rough idea how I want the thing to look. But, like, literally, it then makes a nice little splash, and it's like, okay, I know something dropped in the water. Also, guys, I think it was Tuesday, I said that I was no longer basically... Okay, this is a pain. See, this is why I hate having basically a full inventory when I go to, like... I'm going to need that. I basically said on Tuesday, it's like, I've mentioned K-pop Demon Hunters a lot recently. don't think I've. It's more of a case of because I've mentioned K-pop Demon Hunters a lot, which I will quickly say something about it in 30 seconds. And I also then did like I've also mentioned my, the live action How to Train Your Dragon a decent bit. So it's like because I've mentioned both a decent bit, I'm basically saying I'm not going to talk about them on streams anymore. And technically, a loophole I found was when I said not mention them, I basically meant not mention like names. I never said I wouldn't mention the fact of reviews I've done. And guys, all those reviews are basically supposed to be sort of laid back, sort of just laid back sort of reviews, like me basically in a sort of relaxed environment going, this movie was great, this show was great. At some point I might do shows. Like I'm currently in the middle. Oh my god! I was not expecting to hear thunderstorms and like I'll take that. Basically guys, I'm in the middle of watching The Rookie season 7 because like it films in like America because it films like it's about a cop that decided to become a cop at like the age of like 40, and like it's all based in like Los Angeles. But because I've not seen all of season 7 yet, I'm gonna wait until I can watch all of season 7 and then basically go, yes, this movie was great, 100% recommend. Like this show was great, 100% recommend. But from what I have seen of season 7 and from what I've seen of past seasons, it's a 100% must watch. Like I've like normally when it's raining, it's like I'm not too fussed, but like now I feel like I need to get indoors. Just because like it's like raining, it's pouring, it's. But I say, where the hell am I keeping poison? Because I'm pretty sure typically I just chuck them in like this chest. I want to say I'm pretty sure I've got like another chest. I do. I can't be asked all that. But what I am going to do, because I think it's fair, is basically grab the parrots. They can come in. Also, the parrots and the cats don't have a name. Like, I hate moving parrots because like they tend to jump onto your shoulders. Okay, so it's not night, it's just chucking it down the rain. That's done. But basically, guys, the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna use stairs to basically create like this virtual like pattern. Because what I was trying to go for was like a Viking sort of style design, and thinking about it for the last few days, it's like, do I really like? My style of building has never sort of been, recreation and like pin and stuff like that down. It's sort of just been a case of here's something wacky. Like my Heist on Quest for years, and it's only now that I think of it more that I would actually change it. But like I've never really had a problem with Heist on Quest. Do I slightly regret building it out of wool and and at least not like potentially swapping it for concrete over the years. Yes, would I swap it for concrete now? Hell no. Way too iconic at this point. It's like another YouTuber called Stampy, who used to do Lovely World. He said the fact of like he wasn't exactly the like biggest fan of how his like house on his Lovely World turned out, but because of how iconic it's become, he doesn't want to change it in big ways. See, annoyingly, if I was to put a balcony, it would be like right here, but it's like I like having the glass. So I probably would just remove like those two and then just have a balcony around the side. See, thankfully the dogs do have like a nice cover over them now, so it's only I'm gonna keep these undone because it is more of an annoyance. No, you know what, no. See, on the old realm that I showed probably a couple months ago now, that a friend started that I played a good bit on and I've done a good bit on, I had a similar sort of attic design. By that I mean I literally had like stairs going up to like the attic and like not in the corner area but like straight like, and I had like this same sort of like enclosed area to close it off. I put them, but I left them open, and I've recently gone back in the world because I hadn't been on there for a while. Because it's one of those things where I'd hate to see the world, I'd hate to see the realm like get deleted or like I'd hate to lose access to the realm. But I really don't play them that much anymore because I don't know why. Like, in all honesty, the only Minecraft I play these days is on New Adventure. Which, for the most part, that's just streaming the weekly episodes. Yeah, need to sleep, need to sleep, it's wet. I'm a tiger and I'm out in the rain. I don't like it. See, part of me is actually questioning whether I probably should have. Because why wouldn't be the biggest pain in the ass to re-go and... But I think what I'm going to do is 1, 2, 3. See, I want to just have a quick... Like, just like a quick look. It's like... I forgot I was working with... I forgot I was going to be using wood, and it's like... It's fine, it's like, oh, hold on, no way. I broke my axe breaking melons and bleak pumpkins, which I still got on me, so... In all honesty, guys, if I was to leave some random... If I was to leave, like, a few pumpkins in my inventory, it wouldn't really be that much of a surprise if I'd forgot about them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm making a spare iron sword while I'm literally getting stuff. 1, 2, 3... Yeah. I only need this 3... There. Also, something like that kind of bugs me, the fact that it's just, like, out in the ground. It's like the bamboo. That was kind of bugging me, the fact that it just was, like, messy everywhere. But, like, now, it feels way too much... Like, I'd feel bad just to go and be like, yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of it. Did I do... Yeah. I know for a fact this diamond pickaxe is going to break, and I 100% should make a iron one, but at the same point, I can't be ahead. Like, I don't 100% love it, but I kind of do like it. Like, you can't run up it anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference. Right, I'm gonna go and do 2 down this end. Like, to see how far I can get. Perfect. See, guys, when I say I've not planned this out, I literally mean I haven't. It's up by 3. I'm literally just going and being like, does this work? Yeah, it does work. Now, is there a good chance that this whole entire back wall is going to get trimmed? Yeah, very, very much. It bugs the living hell out of me because it looks ugly as anything. So now I'm going to leave this like this, but I do actually have a plan to basically open it up and have it so it can go down that direction. That will probably get worked, like, both sides, because I plan to have it for both. Both cases, it'll probably get worked on, like, next week. See, part of me is like, do I go up by 3, then chuck a curveball in the middle? But it's like, what curveball do I then chuck in the middle? I'm going to pop back to my base. I'm going to pop back to the house and see what I've got. Also, another reason why I do really like this is it looks like you've got and from the inside, it looks perfectly fine. Like, you literally don't notice the difference. It looks like a really nice pattern. When you look from this side, it looks like a little groove. But getting back to the thing I was going to say, like, 30 seconds ago, like, 2 minutes, like, 5 minutes ago, more like, K-pop Demon Hunters hasn't actually had a sequel confirmed yet, which, it's like, wait, hold on, you're telling me one of the biggest movies on Netflix right now, #1 for, like, the last, I'm pretty sure, 5 weeks, Gordon's been nominated for awards, again, I can't remember what awards. See, the reason I can't remember what awards is because you might think, hold on, do you not have a script? No, I really don't. But the term eyeballing makes way too much sense. See, do I want to chuck another wood in? Like, part of me doesn't want to do just have a straight up, like, a straight pattern. Like, a natural striped pattern. But part of me kind of... See, you know what? What I'm going to do, whether I love it or hate it, is I'm going to do it all the way up, and I'll see how I go from there. And if it does turn out that I really don't like the fact of it all being done all the way up, either next week or the week after, either in between episodes or like next week, at some point, I will basically go changing this or it's been changed. See, a thing that I love that I can do, and part of me's question why I'm able to do something like this is if I make a decision, I can easy enough make a split decision and kind of not regret it. Like, a couple years ago, I had a chance to... A few mates was going to... I can't remember what Comic-Con, but they were going to one, and then a couple years later, a couple other mates were then going to, like, meet up, and it would have been an out-of-town trip, and I was like, yeah... I was like, at the time, I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll go. In the end, I chose not to go on either. And that was just sort of a case of split-second decision. Like, yeah, do I say, yeah, no. It's like, guys, when I chose, like, because... Jesus Christ, Toothless. Toothless is kind of the only one that I am. Also, guys, I did go fishing. I got, like, 20-something fish. I have fed Stormfly, like, 3 times since. At the minute, the only ones that I am... Stormfly, you really think? At the minute, the only ones that I'm grabbing are... Toothless is a 100% grabbing the scales, because I don't really have that many. Hideous Silverback and Monster Nightmare, kind of. Stormflies are going to be something, if I see them, I will pick them up. But Gronkles... No... That's just down to the fact that I've got a load. But yeah, guys, so K-Pop Demon Hunters hasn't actually been confirmed for a sequel yet. I know I did mention the fact that I said, yeah, it probably could be done within the next couple years, like, come June 2027. I reckon they could probably get a sequel out. It's not been confirmed for a sequel yet, but the reason I think they will get a sequel... Again, I'm trying not to spend, like, hours upon hours talking about it, but the movie is a really great movie, and why it's doing good, Netflix would be idiots not to capitalize on it. Or to put it in terms that COD generally sort of go by, we're going to carry on re-releasing the exact same game every year, barely any difference. Because you all love it, and you will keep rebuying it. Like, guys, why I can't 100% say Samsung have never essentially re-released the exact same phone every year. Apple tend to do a thing where they release a very similar phone every year, and then make the last gen ones barely run. It is a well-known fact. I know people who love using iPhones. I know someone who used to use an iPhone, then switched. But, like, I don't know whether that was due down to the fact of, because, like, he had a very old, it was, like, the iPhone 3, iPhone 4, I think it was the iPhone 4, and then he switched to a Samsung, so, but I don't know how much choice he had in that, because I've not always had the option on, like, granted, I've always had that Samsung, but I've not always had the option on what Samsung. Because when I was younger, one of my parents thought, no, that's too much, you can't have that. Not as a problem, not as much of a problem anymore, because benefits of being on contract. Guys, contracts have pros and cons. Pro 1, you can sort of have whatever phone you want for a reasonable price each month, without completely breaking the bank. Because I've got a phone and watch on, like, I don't know exactly what model of watch it is, but it is like a Samsung watch, I believe. Plus then the S23 Ultra, and it's not stupidly expensive. Although I'd like it known, if I did stick with that idea of doing a pattern every 3, these would go up to the top and I'd have a nice little pattern in between. Now, if I need to tear that wall down, I will, but I might not actually, the other side. See, the reason I don't want to, because it's like, part of me wants to leave it, part of me is like, no, don't let it get to you. But I literally need to get both sides of these done first. part of me kind of wants to recreate this. How the hell did that slip past me? I really should stop jumping. Like, I keep saying the fact of, like, this armor's gonna break, it's not gonna last. Yeah, no shit, it's not gonna last, because I keep jumping off stupid heights, off stupid things. Guys, it's like when you got, like, that really nice set of armor that you don't bring out unless, like, you need to go and fight, like, a boss or something. But then you accidentally bring it out and you forget the fact to fix it and you don't have mending on it. It's like, Also, guys, let me know whether anyone would want to see a hardcore series, because I'm toying with the idea of doing a hardcore Minecraft series. But, like, I know hardcore... I really do need to stop jumping. But I know hardcore Minecraft is just going to be hardcore Minecraft. But with a slight bit of a twist of, like, I've never done a proper hardcore series, hardcore series. Whether it be streamed, recorded, or just done just to see if I could do it. I've never done one. Reasons? Part of me knew I'd get about part of me's always known I'd get about halfway through and then die and then lose all that progress. But yeah, part of me's always known I would die, lose all the progress, I'd be extremely pissed about it. Part of me's never really cared about doing one. It's like the closest I've ever come to doing a hardcore series is a Nuzlocke. And even then, I did it on Pokemon Y. Just because I was in the mood to play Pokemon Y, and it's like, you know what? Why don't I? So I did, and by the end of it, I didn't regret I didn't regret doing it. But it did come to a point where I was specifically looking for one Pokemon, and I did cheese some of the rules. Because it got to a point where it's like, because in Pokemon X, I run, because you've got two options for starters, I run Greninja and Charizard. Because having a fire-typing Kalos is, I wouldn't necessarily say necessary, but it is really handy, because fire-types are broken in Kalos. It's like Venusaur's kind of broken in Kanto, it takes care of so much. Like Infernape in Sinnoh, Swampert in Hoenn. But like Swampert in Hoenn is only because of the fact of like there is no major grass specialist at all. You chuck in a grass specialist, you've then got a Pokemon who is then 4 times weak to one of the big boss battles. Or one of the big battles of the game. But I've kind of intrigued about essentially doing a hardcore series where I have to spend so much of each night out in the open. Like, I can't just essentially instantly go and sleep. So let me know whether you would want to see a hardcore series. I'm tempted. It wouldn't replace nothing. It'd potentially just be an additional Wednesday series, which would probably go on for like a couple weeks. Because guys, when I say I'm bad at hardcore Minecraft, like I'm not bad at when I say I'm bad at hardcore Minecraft, I'm not bad at hardcore because of it's Minecraft, because it's then suddenly a higher difficulty. I'm bad at hardcore because I then don't put into consideration, I die, I'm dead. Like, my typical thing is, oh my god, I'm lost in the nether. Oh, here's a pool of lava. Is that one of the reasons I have keep inventory on? Kind of. But mainly because I know at some point I'll do something stupid. And I have on a few occasions of, like, accidentally falling into the void, or setting up the Enderman farms. Which, to be fair, would be really handy, because 1, Ender Pearls, which actually aren't so much useful, 2, XP. Like, I don't set up Enderman farms because of the Ender Pearls, because there are ways to make them so much better. I make the ones I do because they're efficient, they get you a decent bit of Ender Pearls, and you get a decent bit of XP pretty quickly. Although what this does now mean is I now need to go and find actually more specifically, I now need to go and chop down a bunch of wood because I turned half of it into the planks. Sad thing is, half of my progress sorry, Bath and Bouch. See, like, I get why you ride essentially in the middle spot, but it would have been nicer if you could ride on the head. Like, if it was a case, it would have been nicer if the case of it was one of those dragons in the game that you needed 2 people for. So, like, you could have a friend come with you. How much more wood do I have left? That's alright. If anybody curses me, it's... Nope, I'm gonna go grab an axe. If it's an efficiency diamond pickaxe at the very least, then yes, I will happy enough do it. But considering it's just a basic simple iron pickaxe, it's gonna take way too long. This is another reason why I set up an iron farm. Well, granted I've got 15 iron blocks, I'd rather not need to unmake them, because the way I see it is, I can get, but granted not as quick, because it'd be quicker just to take a few turn a few back into ingots. But I could not do that and just spend a small period of time where I've got nothing to do. And a really great example of this is there are some points where I don't have a guaranteed few hours to spend and basically do nothing. Basically spend and play Minecraft for all that long. But usually within those points of time, I did it. Should have put them away when I had the chance. But during those points in time, I might have, say, 10-15 minutes. Or I might have, say, 5 minutes at the beginning where I can just go and check myself on my iron farm. Which is basically how I did, basically get all the stuff to make the chicken farm. I basically went and didn't intentionally do it, it just ended up lining up this way, but basically there were a few days where there were boxes I needed to rip up because it was rubbish, because rubbish was due the next day, or I needed to do stuff that basically meant I couldn't just sit and game for a good few hours, but I was able to essentially have my PlayStation on in the background. See, something really cool, if I thought it would... Okay, where the hell did that come from? I'm gonna go and chuck all these away. And by all these, I mean... Not all these, but I'm probably gonna chuck a couple stacks. I'm also gonna sleep. See, I reckon what I'll get done today is the 2 sides. That's what I reckon I'll get done. Which is kind of annoying knowing the thing about, the progress I made last week was more of, this is gonna work, is this gonna work? No, this isn't gonna work. Because I had in mind a really fancy archway. Have I got my really fancy archway? Yes. Do I love my really fancy archway? Yes. Could I have just made it so much more simple and just made it a box and not need to tear down half my progress? Yes, I could have. Granted, I'm not going to get to do that exactly for all of them. Like those three there, I can go all the way down to the bottom and like oak planks, I can go a tiny bit further. But jungle, I'm only going to be able to go there. Same with pear, but it's not going to be too much of a problem. Spruce, I can go a tiny bit further. Birch, I can, but when I'm going to get more stuff, it's going to be... It's organized at the minute. It's not always going to be organized. But yeah, so getting back to not talking about K-pop Demon Hunters or live action How to Train Your Dragon, guys, the live action How to Train Your Dragon, basically when the live action came out, was basically already said, yeah, we're doing a next one. I think that's due out to come out in like a couple years. I think they've said that 2027. Which, if the date is actually true, I'm purposely making a trip back because I keep getting chucked away. If the date I did see for it is true, 2027, 11th of June, potentially worth going to cinema on my birthday. Because I could go watch the movie, have a really good time, and enjoy a really good movie on my birthday. But it depends on how things line up. Because I can't 100% guarantee that I'll be free, like, just under 2 years away. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. See, guys, when I thought this was going to take me like a month to build, I wasn't completely wrong. Because like, I presumed, like, it would. But, like, I was basically rough, like, literally going, yeah, this is how long it should take me. And, like, I'll get, like, both these walls done today. I'm not going to get the giant-ass back wall done. And while that won't take me a full, like, length video to do, I might spend, because I do have some time where I can basically just spend a good period of time going after creepers. Because I have some free time tomorrow where I can do it, and I can get wood in between. Because I've already been going after a few, and I will show that in, like, when I pop back to the house. But yeah, getting back to my ramble. The live-action How to Train Your Dragon, which, don't get me wrong, I love the How to Train Your Dragon series. Overall, one of my favourite series. It's like my second favourite franchise. And I'm saying franchise for one particular reason. Because if someone was to come and, like, someone to ask me 2-3 weeks ago, Tigris, what's your favourite movie that's come out this year? I'd be like, kind of a cheap, kind of a knockoff, but kind of a, not wanting to give a proper answer, but I really did enjoy the live action How to Train Your Dragon. They're like, if they didn't, it's like, because it is completely based, like, most of it's based off the movie that came out 15 years ago. Like, it's based off a 15-year-old movie. So, okay, so I can Fair enough. This is gonna be fun. Why didn't I wait to get rid of the wall? Like, I didn't know how much, like, considering the fact of I'd want to use the A to do this, A for, like, this, that, like this, and this, B I then use the back wall to do that. Why didn't I put it into consideration? I might need the wall. You know what I'm gonna, it's gonna be more annoying. But I am gonna do that. But, like, guys, granted, like, why the live action movie is literally based off a, but, like, the material's already there, so it does still kind of baffle me why Netflix haven't just been like, this movie's done really great, we've made a lot of money from it. Because, guys, I can tell you now, the way it typically works is, people will turn around and be like, do I really need my Netflix subscription? Like, most recently, I've been questioning whether, like, because I pay for Disney Plus on a yearly basis, I prefer doing it yearly basis because it's one lump of money at once instead of every month or instead of every few months. But that's how I do Disney Plus. So, I've been questioning, considering Disney Plus has then gone up, do I really need Disney Plus? The answer, probably not. But it's been paid for this year, so if it goes up again next year, I'm 100% saying I will pay monthly whenever I want to watch something on there, because it's not always, like, it'll be once in a blue moon that, like, for instance, there's like 3 shows on there that I like to watch. I watch those shows like twice a year. Like, Modern Family is something that I watch on Disney Plus because it's the easiest way to watch it. I do technically have an alternative way, but it is more of a pain because it means I can't watch it whenever and I can't watch it while gaming. Which is the same way I've been watching Rookie via Sky. Because it is on Sky at the minute. I say at the minute, as if it's going anywhere. No, it's on Sky. Like, the first, like, 9 episodes, roughly. No, 8 episodes. But, so, like, getting back to what I was saying. Netflix have 100% got people going. Because everyone, like, more than once I've questioned, like, is Netflix, like, can, like, more, like, I think I've questioned a couple of times, do I need Netflix? And said yes, because I'm not the only one in my house who watches it. I'm also pretty sure I'm not the one in the house who pays for it. Like, I pay for, like, 3 other streaming services, but, like, in my house, but, like, I don't pay for Netflix. Like, I think you get access to that because of my mother. Although, guys, if anyone does come in the comment section about that, I used to, and it was my account, and it technically still is. But I basically barely watched anything on there, and then my mother started watching a load of stuff on there, so she offered. But yeah, getting back to it, the way it works is streaming services need to constantly provide a reason for people to still pay for them. And Netflix have recently been given K-pop Demon Hunters, and it's recently been one of the best reasons to have Netflix. Like, would I have seen the movie if it wasn't on Netflix? Originally, no, because it would have been a case of, well, I'm not going to pay for another, like, if it wasn't on streaming service I had, which is Paramount Plus, Prime, Disney Plus, Prime, Netflix, Paramount Plus, Disney, Prime, and Netflix are like streaming services that I pay for. So if it wasn't on one of those, would I have seen the movie? Probably not. That would have been like, it would have been a case of, well, I don't have a way to watch it. I'm not paying for another streaming service to watch it. Like, there've been a couple of shows that I've been interested in watching. I can't remember what they are now because I forgot about them. That there's only been a couple of ways to watch it, and it's just been a case of pay for another streaming service. I don't want to. For the simple reason of... Okay, so no more Monster Nightmare, no more Gronkle, like, no more deliberately picking them up. Granted, I already had a few more when I decided, like, no more on them, but that this Iron Armor, part of me is like, potentially take it, I might not. It kind of just feels like part of the furniture. Part of me knows my sword's gonna break. But, so to me, it seems crazy why Netflix haven't willingly gone and been like, okay, this movie has made so much money. It's made them and Sony a load. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I have got a nice little bit of gunpowder coming on. I reckon because it probably would be... No. It'd either be Monday or Thursday, depending on when. Because at the minute, I don't know what I'm going to do the roof from. So that'll probably be Thursday's video next week. And then the back wall will probably just be Mondays. And I will basically just spend the next few days basically just going after creepers. And implementing something in for less. Because I want to have a thing where, like, you can turn like, because it'd be like a 2-gap, you turn, it comes out, you can go into that, and it'll just connect up to, like, that. And same for that side, and for, like, the back, like, this giant back wall that's currently been taken down. I'm probably going to do a very similar design to that, to how the front is, but I'm not 100% on whether I will basically just have a giant open gap in the middle. Because part of me is tempted to build a couple oak, I didn't go one hot. Okay, I can sort this. But yeah, to me it seems crazy why Sony and, like, because the film was produced by Sony but it's on Netflix, why neither one of those two have willingly gone and been like, okay, that's a lot, it's a lot less because I've also used another, that makes sense. Originally I used like 7 and I basically smacked all of them and turned them all into stairs. Because I was like, I'm going to use 7 and having a spare stack won't be that bad. But it's like, hold on, wait a minute. That was when I was only using stone. Because I've basically gone to the exact same height, just on a curve. But, like, to me, it seems like crazy why, for instance, Marvel saw how well Ironheart did in the second Black Panther movie, yet chose to still give it its own TV show. Yet an actual movie that's done not just great, amazing. Now, guys, would I say I'm the intended audience for K-pop Demon Hunter? No, 100% not. It's for people who like K-pop music, who like that type of stuff. But from what I've seen, because I have seen a load, and I don't just mean a small portion. I've seen probably over the last month, actually month, kind of questionable. Probably over the last like 2-3 weeks, at least 3 or 4 grown ass men, and I mean grown ass men, dancing, singing the lot to the lyrics from the like the lyrics from the movie. Plus, a few reasons why I love K-pop Demon Hunter as much as I do, and why I really want them to do a sequel, because there are several questions that aren't answered, and why would the How to Train Your Dragon live action? And I was willing to, and still am, and she talked about the movie, because one, it has been out for over a month, and it might be the same for K-pop Demon Hunters, but that's barely. Second, that was based off the 2010 movie, which is 15 years old. K-pop Demon Hunters is not based, I don't think, based like it's basically an original idea. Although it is nice to basically see them see a bunch of skits of people going, so we might have a problem. That being, this being a movie called K-pop Demon Hunters, and Sony's produced it. Hold on, wait a minute. Isn't that the movie that's going mad and going like everyone's like obsessed and all that, and getting a load of really stupid ass views? And I don't mean stupid in a bad way. I mean like, wait, what now? Yeah, Sony produced it. See, if before I saw the movie, people told me like described it of K-pop music band, fight demons, and Sony's produced it. Like Sony's had a big tie into it. It's on Netflix. I think, yeah, I heard there's like Madam Web was bad enough. What does that have to do with this? That was a movie produced by Sony. So was Craven. So was Morbius. And they all tie into not great movies. But then I think about the points of where it's like, hold on, Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 weren't that bad. I think potentially Amazing Spider-Man 1 might have been slightly better, but Amazing Spider-Man 2 was still pretty good. But like, you can definitely tell when basically in a movie that they sort of hit rock bottom, and it's like, this is the end. We're never going to do anything else with this again. We're not going to put a full 100% into it. But guys, K-pop Demon Hunters took 9 years to do. Do I think the sequel will? No. I 100% think by 2027 we will have trailers the lot, if not the full movie out. Because as someone who's done media and who knows a decent bit from what I remember from college, I'm saying rule number one in this case. You want to keep something hyped, don't let the hype drop down. For instance, do you know how SB737 kept its hardcore hype up even though he had said after 10,000 days it was over? By doing one video basically saying this is the end, then doing a follow-up the very following week of him jumping into the void. Where everyone expected him to do it all in the one video. He's like, you fools, you really think I was going to waste a 2-video potential? Which is where I get the fact of, if I can stretch something over a couple videos, why don't I? Because it then gets fans wanting, eager to see what comes next and all that lot. Which is why, hopefully, me saying I think it can be done in 2 years. See, the reason I think it can be done in 2 years, because I reckon behind the scenes, Sony and Netflix realized this was going to be good, started working on some potential stuff for a sequel. Because like a few of the voice actors have basically confirmed and like basically gone and said, what we're still waiting for, we want a sequel. Do you wonder who else? And this is why I do think the fact that the sequel might be getting worked on. Do you wonder who else turned around and said he wasn't going to be in a movie? This is in a movie. Andrew Garfield said through all of the third Spider-Man movie, nah, I'm not in it. They're lies, it's fake, it's all bullshit. Who ended up being in the movie? But like, even if the voice actors do know, until Netflix and Sony are ready to basically turn around and say, "Yeah, we're giving a sequel," you're not going to know. Like, to anyone who thinks we'll get a full like length, full animated to the quality that the first one was, songs as great as they were, well-driven storyline, well-driven story plot, well-driven story. Because guys, the reason why it's done so well is because Rumi deals with stuff that last time I'm going to mention spoilers to the movie. Rumi deals with a case of shame, like being ashamed of who she is, hiding who she is, and then wanting to end it. Things that, without subtly saying anything, a load of people have dealt with. Mirror, black sheep of the family. People have dealt with the fact of, feeling like they're not wanted or not loved in their own families. They're not as successful as others in their family. Zoe is the chaotic one, and she felt like no one would understand her. Guys, coming from someone who's got ADHD, who not as bad as he used to be, to a degree, very much to a degree, having good days, having bad days for that. I know what it feels like, feeling like the fact of I've got to try and keep it as bottled up as possible. Like, those three girls found each other, and they made what they considered their worst parts of them the best part of the group. Like, they take some real problems, don't bloody turn around and base the whole movie on those problems, and believe it or not, make a great movie. Like, no one's saying you shouldn't make movies based on the fact of people feeling depressed, sad, suicidal, the lot. And again, last time I mentioned death, because it is a very touchy subject, and I typically won't have people talking about it in my chat. Like, there's no problem essentially talking about stuff like that. The problem then comes when you essentially try to force it into movies. Like, Madam Web could have been a really great movie if Sony had put the effort into it. And I'm presuming the same for Craven and Morbius. But again, I didn't watch either one. She-Hulk could have been really interesting and cool if they didn't spend the whole time basically going and basically just trying to prove, like, that women are better than men. Because that's from I look at that and I literally just see She-Hulk basically trying to prove that she doesn't need her cousin's help, that she doesn't need no man's help or anything or any help from anybody, that she's independent. Because Bruce tries to teach her at the very beginning of She-Hulk, I think it's like the first, second episode, she needs to keep her anger in check. Because as a Hulk, they have rage, and if it's unchecked, valid advice, and I get it can be a touchy subject, I get that. Then she's like, what do you think I've been doing since I've been born? And it's like, yeah, I get it. Women do generally need to keep their emotions in check. But at the same point, they didn't exactly need to mention it. It could have just been a case of, yeah, I'm going to pretend you didn't just say, I'm going to pretend the fact you've not just, said that to me. Or brush it off. Like, they didn't really need to make that much of a big deal over something. Now, before I do end stream, I am... Please don't tell me that's the stream countdown. I'm pretty sure it is, actually. Which, to be fair, isn't the worst thing in the world. It's not the... Because I missed Saplands. I thought I planted... No, I was wrong. You know what? No, I won't do that. I will go and grab a couple more samplets. But the reason I do really enjoy the movie, and I've rewatched it as many times as I have, is because every time I do rewatch it, I find new ways to look at something. Like, the person who was supposed to be Rumi's parental guardian basically turned and told her that she's got to hide who she is. And why was she told she needed to hide who she was? Because she was half demon. Which is then kind of funny to think about when the movie then does turn around and try and go, oh look, someone who hates the demon side is now falling in love with someone who is a demon. Which to me is just kind of funny. Because it's like, Rumi's trying to hide who she really is. And Jinru being the one person who she feels like she can open up to. And I like the fact that when they try and cover real life subjects and cover it as well as they did with K-pop Demon Hunters. Because literally, 2 lyrics in what it sounds like are... No, 3 lyrics in what it sounds like are... One from Rumi being, this is what my voice sounds like without the lies. Because she's no longer hiding anything. Zoe's is... Well, not in what it sounds like, but like in Golden, it's like I've got 2 sides. And Mirrors in what it sounds like is I should have let the jagged edges meet the light. And when you actually think about it and translate it into non-lyric form, Mirror's basically saying she should have opened up earlier and like not kept it all bottled up. Ruby should have trusted the fact that her friends would have had her back. Zoe should have trusted that people cared about her. Again, a thing they do cover in the movie, and I'm happy that they do, is literally right after the 2 girls find out what Rumi is, they put their weapons up as just a case because Rumi's starting to act a bit scary. They didn't want to. And how do we know they didn't want to? Mirror puts the one weapon up, but looks like she appears to have a more looser grip on it. Zoe has 6 throwing sort of things. I can't think of what they actually do have a specific name. I can't think of what that said name is. Maybe because I do want to carry on talking. But Zoe only pulls out 2 of them, and Mirror has appears to have a looser grip on her weapon, and looks more like terrified than I'm going to slay a demon. Like, most cases, if a movie had only been out for a month, I wouldn't be willingly talking about it without dropping spoiler warnings. It is on Netflix, so it's not like it's only been out for a month and it's like a cinema sort of thing. It's more, it's kind of available to watch. I might basically just try and get like another couple stacks. Because I'm pretty sure I needed, 3 stacks just to do that. So, what I probably will do is do that, but then I'm potentially thinking about doing a stone back wall. Also, guys, just before I do forget, fire spread has been turned off because of a tiny little incident I had the other day. And by the other day, I think it was Tuesday. No. Yes? I either didn't mention it on Tuesday stream because it wasn't important and I forgot about it, or it's after Tuesday stream because I think it might have jumped. It was after Tuesday stream because that's when I jumped onto Minecraft. Basically, I use good old Meatlug to basically get infinite lava. Yes, there's way too at dripstones, but Meatlug's kind of a bit more efficient. So, I was doing that and I accidentally shot some lava. You're not going to be able to tell the difference because I have repaired it since. This wall. Some of it started to burn down, so I was like, shit, better turn fire spread off, because I was trying to get it as best as I could, and it did start to spread. But thankfully, I was able to repair it. Wasn't fun, but I was able to repair it. But, overall, guys, I don't have a problem when a movie or TV show do discuss real-life problems, because there are cases, there are literal situations where people do feel like they're outsiders in their families, or they do feel like abandoned, or they do actually have problems that they don't want to talk about, or they do hide who they really are. And K-pop Demon Hunters not only handles it in a great way, doesn't throw it down your throat. Doesn't make it the whole point of the movie. Because at the end of the day, the whole point of the movie is these three, you know, this band who use their voices to fight demons, essentially. And by taking that, because a funny scene at the beginning is, and it's one of those cases where if you look back at it now, it's like, hold on, they were just messing with them. Because at the very beginning of the movie, it starts with the fact of that all three girls being like, why the hell do people like messing with snacking time? And Zoe just being like sort of cute in it all, being like, they forget my ref. Kind of like when like a kid sort of turns around and like has like that sort of like angry sort of expression, being like, "You feel my ref," and you can't help but laugh. Kind of like that because like they were eating and like she's currently got like a mouthful of I want to say chips. I want to say like crisp and like things like that. Sort of like Pringles and sort of things like that because she sort of just ripped the bag open and just went yum. But like she's then just saying like they'll feel my wrath. Rumi walks straight up to him and it's like, hey, you're a demon. Proves the fact you're a demon. Goes to grab like a thing full of water so they can eat their ramen. And she's just literally just like the demon, just wait a second. After sort of just knocking her back slightly, chucks the jar to Mirror, who then starts beating up another demon with said jar. Who then passes the jar to Zoe, who then, proceeds to go around a circle and fill them all up. Not every accurate point, it's not been that long since I've seen the movie again. But it all kind of just feel like it's all like, feels like I need to give myself a couple of days from watching the movie to then properly rewatch it. Just because it kind of feels like it's all blurring together at this point. Because since last Wednesday, I've seen it basically twice a day. Like, I saw it on Wednesday, and then I missed a day, and I've seen it 3 times on a couple other days. I'm gonna have to go and grab another supplement, aren't I? But you've then got that, and Zoe's just putting the water. Mira and Zoe go tweet it, and Ruby's just sort of being the mum in the room, and it's like, you can wait 3 minutes. Do they actually wait 3 minutes? No. Because when Bobby phones their manager, it's like, girls, where are you? Ruby's instant thing's like, Bobby, we'll be there in 3. As in, we'll be there in 3 minutes. They get there in 3 minutes. They don't pour the water into the ramen until a minute in. Then when the plane suddenly gets trashed, which, why it might not have been confirmed, I refuse to believe that's the first plane they've ever trashed. I 100% do refuse to believe that that's the first plane they've trashed. Because they're so chill about it, it's like, well, this plane's trashed. It's like, if that was my first plane that I trashed, very expensive plane, granted, they've got the money, but not the point. Because, guys, the reason we know this is because, 1, there is then a golden plane in Golden that we actually see. 2, the plane is labeled and branded with Huntrix over it. So yeah. But it's just well, this plane's trash. Again, me, I'd be like, how do we tell the owner of this plane that we've trashed their plane? What's the protocol here, guys? But whether it's the fact that they hunt demons and all that's just normal for them, which I wouldn't put past them either, or whether it's just down to the fact that they trashed a few planes in the past. But before the plane gets trashed, all 3 of them put down their ramen. Then they pull out their very deadly demon-killing weapons. which for Rumi is a base, like to simplify it, it's a sword. For Mira, it's a bladed pole staff. Again, they have specific names, and I apologize for not being accurate with them. Again, don't write scripts for this. I didn't plan to talk about K-pop Demon Hunters because I was trying to steer away from it, but at this point, last time I'll do it. And then Zoe's got sort of like kunai based weapons. And the only reason I know they're kunai, that I want to say they're kunai based. I don't think they're actually called kunai. I'm pretty sure they do actually have a name. I just can't think of what said name is. But the reason I know it is because, again, I've played a decent bit of Kiriko on Overwatch. And I'm pretty sure her thing mentioned about her having kunai based weapons. Now, what food can I eat? Bread. But, like, they're just so, like, yeah, well, that's happened. Like, who wants lunch? So they pull out their they pull out their badass demon weapons, slay most of them. A couple of them then get away. They, like, right after they've got away, they then stop down their ramen, and instead of just jumping out the big hole at the front, they decide to actually be polite and take the door. And all three of them just jump out of a bloody moving plane. And it's like, excuse me? Since when were these three bloody Batman? Because last time I checked, people don't willingly jump out of planes. Although I will say, something I am kind of finding extremely funny. The amount of times that I've seen, because like Ninjago is also something I've loved since a kid. Like ADHD, Lego just helped a lot. It's the amount of things that I've seen with people basically going and having like the three guys, so Paul, Kai, Zane, Jay, and Lloyd, like doing the idol dance, and people are like, so does this mean we're going to see Pixel, Nia, and Hirumi basically doing what it sounds like, or Golden, or what like is it what's done? And it's like that'd be really cool to see. I don't know if the person has since, and it's like weirdly makes sense. I've also seen a few Golden covers done over things to do with How to Train Your Dragon. It's like, yeah, the stuff about him having two sides does really make sense in that consideration. Like, it does really work, and because sometimes I then thought of the other day, it's like, hold on, might have been yesterday I thought of it, and last time I mentioned it, it's like, hold on, I was going to mention to people when I spoke to them, it's like, have I seen the exact same movie, but twice? Because it's like, so the main person in it, Hiccup in How to Train Your Dragon, main person in K-pop Demon Hunter is Rumi. They both have sides that they end up hiding. Hiccup's being he's a dragon rider and loves dragons. Rumi's being she's half demon. They both end up with badass blades. Hiccup's ends up being a fire blade. Rumi's has hers from the beginning. They both like jumping and falling. Well, they both jumped off the equivalent of moving objects. Hiccup's more than once jumped off the back of Toothless. And we've seen Rumi skydive. They're basically hiding who they are to their friends, and it's a looser connection with this. Like, Hiccup's hiding who he is to his father, and Rumi's hiding who she is to her friends, to her family. So they're both hiding who they are to their own families. And thinking about it's like, hold on. And it's like, everything sort of gets forced, like, because Hiccup gets put in a position where Toothless comes and saves him. That forces it out. Rumi in the movie, like down to the takedown song, is then her marks then revealed and it's shown to everyone. Both of them are both of their sides are then forced. Also, there are butterflies in this add-on. It's kind of nice. Unless they're just actually in Minecraft now, which in that case, that's kind of cool. Both are forced to show who they really are. And then both their true sides, and then what saved the day. Hiccup's on the back of Toothless, defeating the Red Death, and Rumi's, with her voice and her marks on a show, defeating Grima. It's like, did I actually see the exact same movie? Because when you think about it, both movies are very similar. Both have a protagonist who ends up hiding stuff from people they're closest to. Both have sides that both essentially have sides that they're ashamed of, because Hiccup's shamed that he can't kill a dragon, Rumi's shamed that she's part demon. It's like, did I actually see the same movie twice, but in different perspective? Like, I'm seriously questioning. Also, this 3x3 path, guys, basically, when I did the math of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, there was 3 left in the middle. It's just how it lined up. But it kind of does look a bit nicer, considering that it then goes up this way. I would have done it a straight path. But at the time, the only way it would have worked is I've basically moved all that over by 1. And at the time, I was not willing to do that. Am I willing to do that now? If I wasn't willing to just move all this, because, guys, literally, all I would have had to do to move this over by 1, which it would have made so much more sense now, go through, move these by 1, wouldn't be too bad, and then trim that all off. So, again, would have been simple. But I chose not to, and I like the decision. Plus, I kind of like the parts of the path, like the path not looking like a straight up path. It looks wonkier. It makes it look more realistic, personally. But like, guys, seriously, it's got me questioning. Did I see the exact same movie? Are both movies just very similar? Or do media companies really like basically making people feel bad for what seems to be an innocent, defenseless person? Except Ruby's not innocent or defenseless. Innocent, maybe. Defenseless, definitely not. And then innocent is very much debatable. Considering the fact that she didn't spend half that movie playing mind games with Genu. And guys, when I say mind games, she got offended when he said it wasn't her type. But when the fact that he said, you could have picked a better spot for the date, because she sent a save a date card, she's like, this is not a date. It's like, so when he mentions that he wouldn't date you, you get offended. But when he does, it is just funny. Normally I'd find that stuff, like, kind of annoying, because it's like, it's always when a guy mentions it, but it's like, no, in this case, it's just really funny. Plus, I always like seeing situations like that, where the people you think would basically bring someone out of their shell and be able to be honest with themselves aren't the people who are able to do it, it's just a random person who she's sworn to hate. Now, why the hell does that arrow look massive as anything? See, I don't know what I'm gonna keep stone bricks and the rest of that wood on me, just until I have fully finished with this. I know I've been, and I am sorry for that, but like, trying to get as much of like K-pop Demon Hunter just sort of like where I can. But yeah, guys, like, when I started to think about it, it's like, did I actually see the same movie? Like, twice? And somehow enjoyed the second one more. Because depending on if they do a third, because I'm more likely they're going to do a second. The reason I don't know whether they'll do a third, but I'm confident they'll do a second. If the second doesn't do as good as the third, then there's no chance they're going to willingly chuck the money into the thing. But if it comes out as good, then as good. If the second one comes out as good as the first, then they 100% will. Because they'd be idiots not to. But if it does turn out to be a really great trinity in the end, like a really great three movie sort of thing, it probably will be my favorite movie franchise. Like at the minute, K-pop Demon Hunters is my favorite movie. And granted, typically I don't listen to K-pop music. Like, yes, I've listened to it a bit more recently, but that's because of the fact that they've been K-pop Demon Hunter songs. From the fact of personally listening to them, or having them appear on TikTok or watching TikTok lives and people playing them on Beat Saber. And I don't know exactly how to do it, but if you play Beat Saber on PC, you can mod it to be able to play them on PlayStation. No idea. I'm hoping at some point they come to VR, like Beat Saber in general, so you don't have to have a modded version. But like Sony don't exactly like mods, so. But, like, depending on how good the second movie does will depend on whether we get third. I'm comfortable in saying the fact that it's probably going to do great. It's like, the Invincible Season 3 wasn't fully out, and I think halfway through, they confirmed they were doing Season 4. I think. But either way, that's enough rambling. But yeah, guys, hope you have enjoyed this episode. I apologize if I have rambled. But why the K-pop Demon Hunt is, 1, still doing great, still on my mind, and 3, still appearing on most social, between YouTube Shorts, TikTok in general. Yeah, I'm going to bring it up every so often. I'm going to try not to, just because I don't want people getting sick of me talking about it, but at the same point, tough luck. My stream, my thing, my content. But if you are new around here, please like and subscribe. But either way, this is Tiger signing off. Hope you enjoyed, and I will be back Saturday with Marvel Rivals. Because if I had to do, like, I've done Overwatch earlier, and it wasn't too bad. Same for yesterday. But I don't think I can touch comp again for another week. Like, that was just brutal. So feel free to go and check it out if you really want to see me, wanting to rip people's heads off, because I was close. I was literally raging at points. It was funny. But anyway, guys, this is Tiger signing off. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.